Hello everybody, it's Jerps in Progress, episode 3. Today is a very special episode because it actually has a Jerp, or more commonly known as Jeep. This particular Jeep, I'm sure most of you are familiar with, is the Rock Hobby Michigan 1/10 scale, but we all know it's 1/7 scale by now. I have begun doing weird things to it. This is not the beginnings of a Jeep Renegade conversion. This is going to be a Landrunner conversion. So what the Landrunner was, I guess it was made by a company of the same name, and it bolt-on fenders and a whole new front clip that kind of made your Jeep look like a Hummer. I don't think they made a whole lot of them. They were super weird and ugly, and that's right up my alley. So it's gonna be a shame to get rid of that beautiful YJ front end because real Jeeps have square headlights. If you want to upset Jeep people, say real Jeeps have square headlights, and then sit back and enjoy the show. This is just styrene, you know. It feels good to be working with styrene again, like actually like cutting things and sanding and making a mess. This past year I've really not done a lot of actual building, just some 3D printed stuff and just painting trucks, so I like it. So I used for the, I guess, running board, this 80 thousandth, nice strong piece. It'll have another little piece glued to the front, and then most of the rear fender is 60 thousandths, and then I reinforced it inside, so that's plenty strong. It's got a little curve that matches the original tub, and so what I did, I just made the profile top and bottom of the curve, and then I cut my piece of styrene, and then I just cut slits about halfway through, and then I bent it to get around the curve. That's just one way to do it. You could also heat it or whatever, but I thought that would work best for here, and then I filled it with some CA and baking soda, and it'll be a nice seamless finish. And plenty strong too. There's that. I'm gonna have to get some wider wheels because this thing is very wide now. And yeah, the rubber ducks are staying on. So to continue with the Jeep theme, here is this MJ Comanche thing that I've been working on for someone. The body is 3D printed. I don't know where it's from. It was sent to me already printed and assembled, and I regret that. I've spent many hours actually finishing it and getting it up to the level of quality that Turks and Jerps is known for. But I digest. My task is to get this painted, finish making the body mounts, get windshield. Hopefully they can find the file for the taillights, or I have to do that myself. So I have the rear body post, body mount. Here it's just drilled into little posts into a plate. And they go down, and it clips in, and then the bed is supported by the frame rails. But I don't know what to do up front, so I'll think of that one of these days. I don't think that's going to be the final suspension choice. I think they mentioned putting leaf springs in the rear, so that shouldn't interfere with what I've already done. But it's a lot smoother and straighter than how it came to me. So that's pretty neat. It's a proper Comanche cab. It's not that weird Cherokee with the roof cut off. What's next? Yes, that's right. The Tamiya Hilux High-Lift. I picked it up as a pretty much new in-box kit. It looks like it had been gone through. A couple things were taken out and had a couple multiples of other stuff, but we were able to get all the pieces together to build one truck. Unfortunately, the stock wheels and tires were missing, but I picked up some nice dry rot rock cruiser tires from Ampro Engineering, who's the one who helped me get a hold of this awesome kit. Yeah, I've always wanted one of these. I've never had one. This was like one of the trucks that I first saw that got me interested in scale RC back in 07, 08. So it's very outdated and weird by today's standards. I mean, even then it was kind of totally weird and overcomplicated, but I always wanted to build one box stock just to see how bad it was and how far we've come. So I'll get the body off. And this kit took forever to build. There's so many pieces. And I'm not very smart. Like, I just love how much stuff there is. The dual exhaust on springs is terrific. I always liked these big red shocks. I always thought those were cool. So I built it as per the instructions. I did leave out 1 or 2 leaf springs just so it can be a real good crawler. I like this. Put your stick pack in there and you're ready to go. What else? Oh, this big straight semi-truck looking frame rail. So this does have a 3-speed. I don't remember what the speeds are. Is it high, low, something? But I got it all running. Aside from running it on the bench, I haven't driven it. I have these bolt-on diff covers that have this nice little rock-catching lip. Humongous skid plate. The steering servo is mounted halfway on the frame, but the shift servo is in the front. So I guess I could take this off because I'm not going to do the rear steer. Or I could just kind of leave it and have it flop around. Oh yeah, let's not forget this. Humongous. I was disappointed to find out that this is plastic and not all aluminum. But anyways, all I have to do now, paint the body, and it could possibly be my first finished build of 2023. Once I figure out paint. What am I running underneath for electronics? Obviously the Silvercan motor, a Castle Sidewinder 3, a fake Spectrum receiver. That's it. And then 25 kilogram Amazon servos, because why would you spend more than $18 on a servo for a truck that's useless? The last guest on our show is a recently finished truck. I like to end on a positive note of actually completing something. Is the little FMS FJ45 long bed pick 'em up truck. I think it's nice. Let me know if you think it's nice. My inspiration was a rusty truck. So really nothing special. I just ground off some material with Dremel and the engraving wheel, or the engraving little nubbins, whatever it's called, engraving thingy. I'm sorry. Anyways, and then I kind of just to give it that kind of rough look, the broken away look, like the rust. And then I thought it'd be a little neat feature. I kind of cut the running board off, bent it, and then E6000'd it to kind of give it a floppy look, kind of hanging off thing. So I ground all the rust holes from the inside until it was just like paper thin, and then I just poked it out with like a hobby knife. Airbrush the underside, just in a rust color. So the roofs on FJ45, the pickups were steel, but on FJ40s they were not. So don't rust the roof on your FJ40. You can do the like drip rails, but those were steel. But anyways, a little Toyota Jeep information for you. But I'm happy with how that turned out. And I put a little Space Wars man in there. He looked like a nerd, so I gave him a real cool punk rock t-shirt from Hot Topic. He probably can't even name 3 songs. Okay. Well, that's it for today. I have to go now. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.